Introduction: imagine being part of a community that makes up less than 0.2% of the global population, yet consistently shows up in the world's list of most successful, wealthy individuals. From Albert Einstein to Mark Zuckerberg, from Steven Spielberg to George Soros. Jewish names dominate not only intellectual circles but also the business world. Coincidence? Or is there something deeper going on? Today, we'll explore 7 wealth-building principles rooted in Jewish culture, tradition, and mindset. These aren't just theories. They're lived, passed down across generations, often quietly, almost invisibly. But make no mistake, these secrets are powerful. We're not talking about hacks or hustle. We're talking about deep, timeless ideas like patience, education, giving, and community, wrapped in stories you've likely never heard, but won't forget. And by the end, you'll see that the real secret to wealth isn't about chasing more, but becoming more. Let's begin with the very first principle, one that sits at the heart of every wealthy Jewish household. Secret number 1: education is the first investment. There's a famous Yiddish saying, "If the rich could hire others to die for them, the poor would make a wonderful living." It's cynical, but it also points to something deeper. The only true wealth is what's in your mind. Jewish tradition treats learning as sacred. The Talmud isn't just a religious text. It's a 5,000-page study of law, economics, philosophy, and logic. And from a young age, children are taught that education isn't optional. It's your first asset. Let me tell you about Jacob. Jacob grew up in a Brooklyn tenement, the son of a tailor. No family money, no connections. But what he did have? Books. His parents sacrificed so he could attend yeshiva. He studied late, worked weekends, and eventually became a lawyer. By 45, Jacob owned 3 apartment buildings, had a thriving practice, and was sending his own kids to college. Not because he was the smartest, but because he'd been raised to believe that knowledge multiplies and ignorance costs. This value on lifelong learning explains why so many Jewish families encourage reading, critical thinking, and professional mastery. To them, a book is an investment. A lesson is capital. And education? It's compound interest for the mind. In the words of Warren Buffett, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's not just finance. That's faith. Secret number 2, master the art of delayed gratification. We live in a now culture. Same-day delivery, swipe-right dating, instant returns. But Jewish culture whispers something different. Good things take time. One story passed around old Jewish communities is that of Miriam the baker. She made the softest challah in town. But for 12 years, she saved every extra penny from her stall, while her neighbors spent on new shoes and gold watches. Her goal? A second oven. And she waited. Through inflation, shortages, and temptation. When she finally bought it, her production doubled, and so did her income. 2 years later, she opened a bakery. 10 years after that, a chain. Delayed gratification isn't just about patience. It's about training your mind to think in decades, not days. This trait, choosing future benefit over present comfort, is embedded in how many Jewish families raise their children. Kids are taught to save birthday money, to wait before buying, to ask, "Do I really need this?" And it pays off, literally. Research from Stanford's marshmallow experiment showed that kids who could wait, even just 15 minutes, grew up to have better SAT scores, healthier lives, and stronger finances. Now imagine that principle lived out across an entire community. The ability to delay gratification is like a financial superpower, and in Jewish households, it's a muscle built early. Secret number 3, tzedakah, the secret of giving. Let's flip the script. What if the secret to getting rich is giving? Enter the idea of tzedakah. It's not charity as we know it. It's justice, a duty. In Jewish law, even the poor are obligated to give not from abundance but from responsibility. Let me tell you about Levi. He wasn't wealthy. He ran a modest repair shop in New Jersey. But every week he gave 10% of his income to help struggling families in his synagogue. Fast forward 20 years. A recession hits. Levi's business tanks. But guess what? The same community he supported now rallied around him, giving him clients, contacts, and capital. He recovered in half the time most others did. Why? Because tzedakah created a network of goodwill, and goodwill is one of the most undervalued currencies in the world. This isn't just spiritual fluff. Studies show that generous people tend to earn more over their lifetime. Giving rewires the brain for optimism, builds trust, and increases influence. In Jewish culture, tzedakah is often taught as a non-negotiable, part of your financial planning, like rent or taxes. It's the mindset shift from "I give when I have" to "I give, and that's why I have." So the next time you budget, remember Levi. Giving isn't a cost, it's a catalyst. Secret number 4, community is capital. There's a reason Jewish communities thrive even under adversity. They build together. When Aaron started his first deli in the Lower East Side, he had no money for marketing, no fancy signs, no ads. But he had one thing, his people. His synagogue members told their friends. Those friends brought family. And within a year, Aaron's little deli became a neighborhood institution. Word of mouth is free, but in strong communities, it's priceless. Jewish culture places enormous value on trust, reputation, and mutual aid. Need a lawyer? Someone knows one. Starting a business? There's an uncle, a cousin, a friend ready to help. These aren't just relationships. They're economic safety nets. In fact, some of the most successful Jewish-run businesses, from Goldman Sachs to Levi Strauss, started as family operations, rooted in shared values built on mutual support. Networking isn't about schmoozing. It's about showing up consistently for your tribe. And when done right, community becomes capital. Secret number 5, teach financial literacy at home. In many Jewish households, talking about money isn't taboo, it's tradition. Let's visit the home of the Cohen family. At the dinner table, while other families talked about cartoons or school gossip, Mr. Cohen would quiz his kids, "What's the difference between an asset and a liability? If you had $100 today, how would you invest it? Why does our family rent this store location instead of owning it?" By the time the youngest Cohen turned 18, she had a Roth IRA, a basic understanding of real estate, and already made her first stock investment. See, wealth isn't inherited, mindset is. And Jewish families excel at this. They don't wait for schools to teach financial literacy. They teach it early, and often. They involve kids in budgeting. They explain profit margins. They share the ups and downs of the business, not to burden them, but to train them. This transparency turns kids into future investors, not just consumers. According to studies, most millionaires are self-made, but a large chunk of them credit their upbringing, not just what they earned, but what they learned at home. Jewish tradition reinforces this through the idea of din, responsibility. Managing wealth isn't about luxury, but stewardship. And kids learn that early. So if you're a parent watching this, consider this your permission slip. Talk money at dinner. Your children's future may depend on it. Secret number 6, turn obstacles into opportunity. History hasn't been kind to the Jewish people. Persecution, exile, discrimination, it's a story that spans centuries. But through it all, one pattern repeats. Resilience turns into reinvention. Take the example of Isaac, a Polish Jew whose family fled during World War II and arrived in America with nothing but a sewing machine. While others saw hardship, Isaac saw hustle. He began tailoring clothes from his basement, then started a storefront. Decades later, he was supplying garments to major retailers. The trauma didn't break him. It built him. That mindset, to pivot, adapt, overcome, is part of the Jewish survival code. And in wealth creation, it's crucial. Setbacks will happen. Recessions, job losses, failed ventures. But in Jewish tradition, suffering isn't meaningless. It's a teacher. There's a saying in the Talmud, every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, grow. The same is true for entrepreneurs. The market crashes? Grow. You lose your job? Grow. Someone doubts you? Grow anyway. This mental resilience, this grit, is one of the biggest predictors of long-term wealth, and it's often developed in adversity. Secret number 7, make wealth a tool, not a goal. We end with perhaps the most counterintuitive idea. For many Jews, wealth is not the goal, it's the tool. Let me tell you about Esther. She inherited a family business in Tel Aviv, grew it tenfold. But when asked about her success, she said something strange. The money was just the oil. What mattered was the lamp. To Esther, the purpose of wealth was to create opportunities, jobs, scholarships, community centers. Her wealth wasn't displayed. It was deployed. This is a common trait. Jewish philosophy often warns against material obsession. Wealth, like fire, must be controlled or it consumes, so they build with purpose. In many Jewish homes, wealth is discussed alongside mission. It's not just how much can I make, but what will I do with it? And this perspective creates calm, because when money is a tool, you're less afraid to lose it, and more focused on how to use it. Even Warren Buffett, though not Jewish, follows this path. He lives in the same house he bought in 1958, and has pledged to give away 99% of his fortune. Why? Because true wealth isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in impact. Conclusion, so. What do these 7 Jewish wealth principles teach us? It's not about luck. It's not about inheritance. And it's definitely not about shortcuts. It's about investing in your mind before your wallet. Choosing long-term over now. Giving not just after success, but on the way up. Relying on community as your greatest asset. Talking about money and teaching it. Turning pain into power. And finally, using wealth as a force for good. You don't have to be Jewish to live by these principles. You just have to be intentional. Because wealth isn't just what you accumulate. It's what you activate in your mind, your family, and your community. If this inspired you, share it with someone you care about. Let these ideas ripple out, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that unlock hidden truths behind success, wealth, and the human spirit. Remember, it's not about becoming rich. It's about becoming worth more.